How you doing? My name is Gilbert Ross. I am going to go over a performing note deal. Uh, Looking for a partner on this, someone to, possibly fund this deal. We can work together on it. And I'm just going to go over the highlights of why I think it's a good deal. And if anybody is interested, you'll see my contact number on this presentation, and I'll give it at the end as well. Let's reach out. If this one doesn't fit, but you may want to invest in real estate notes, please reach out to me, to my contact information. Let's have a conversation about what it is that you'd like to do, and let's see if we can work together on something else in the future. So let me share my screen. And so again, here is my contact information, my telephone number, and you can find me on social media at Abundant Capital Group, and my email there, dealsacg@yahoo.com. This is a photo of the property. Now, this was taken back in 2022. So, we probably would have to get a BPO and maybe get some updated exterior photos to make sure that it's in the same condition. But, I don't think that it's going to be in, too worse of condition from what we see here. This is another view of the side and kind of the neighborhood a little bit. This is one of the side streets. The house sits on the corner there. So, a nice little neighborhood in Sheffield, Alabama. You'll see the property address there. It's on Annapolis Avenue in Sheffield, Alabama. And some of the highlights of the deal and why we think it's a good note um, for someone to partner with us on. The property value is about 110,000. And maybe even a little bit more than that, but let's just say if it's not, based on the purchase price here of just under 39,000, you're in a really good investment to value ratio of about 35%. You are, pretty protected if there is any type of downturn in the market. Um, it could, a lot of people are expecting things to maybe, go down or, lose some value. But even if this house is worth, 85,000, you're still below a 50% investment to value ratio on this, even if there is some downturn in the market. So you'll see the monthly payment there. Well, actually, the purchase price is going to be for the next 132 payments. We're looking for a partner to, fund that portion of the deal. We're going to keep the back end of the deal. There's about 50 payments on the back end of this. There's about 180, 182 payments remaining on this. So, we would keep that, uh, and you would, receive the monthly payment, which, after a servicing fee is usually about $30. You're looking at about 482 and 1 cent each and every month after the servicing fee is taken out of the monthly payment there. And that'll get you roughly a solid 10% yield on this amount of money backed by an asset that you're getting at 35 cents on the dollar. So these are the reasons why we feel this is a good deal. And this is based on our initial due diligence. We do a second level of due diligence if we do get a funder to come on board with us. We'll look at all of the documentation and, dot our I's and cross our T's, so to speak, on the next level of due diligence. Security agreement on this is a contract for deed. So our funder, our partner on this would be on title. So if there is an issue with this particular borrower or the person that's living in the property, we do a contract for deed. After they miss a certain amount of payments, the agreement will be that they will then become a renter, and then it becomes more of an eviction process at that particular point. So foreclosure, a lot of times can be done in less than 6 months, probably somewhere around 90 days, with a contract for deed. And it's a non-judicial state, so you don't have to go through a lot of the hoops that you have to go through in other states. Some of the concerns, Sheffield's population is just under 10,000. So it's a smaller town, but, it is next to Florence, Alabama, that has a population of about over 40,000. and it's roughly 10, 20 minutes, maybe at the most a half an hour away, just depending on how deep you get into Florence and where you are in Sheffield. So it's relatively a town over. So, a good amount of population. If you do have to, for whatever reason, get the property back, you'll have, a number of people that most likely would be interested in living, in that particular property in that particular area. So the area is a more of a C-type area based on the crime statistics and things of that nature. School system looked pretty good, but there was some evidence of some crime things going on. But people do live in this area. It's not like it is a war zone, but you just want to be aware that crime is probably a little more elevated than most in most areas, in a lot of areas. So, but nothing, I don't think anything that would prevent this from, being a deal, so to speak. So, uh, just wanted to, again, kind of go over that really quickly, just give the highlights of it, why we think it's a good deal. And again, looking for, funding partner where they would get those first 132 payments and we would own the back end of it. So if it's sold off within the first 132 payments that you own, you would get a certain amount of payoff, and then we would get a certain amount of payoff for our back end 50 payments. So if you wanted to, go through an amortization schedule, anything like that, we could definitely do that. Also, if you don't want to stay in the deal for the whole 132 months, there is opportunity to liquidate the note, sooner. Um, you always have that option. That's another good thing about real estate notes is that they are liquid. And let's say you needed, the money that you put into the deal, you needed to get that back out. You could do that at any point that you wanted to if you didn't want to stay in it for the 132 months. So, um, but if you have an account with this type of money, um, please reach out uh, and we can talk about it. This one, maybe isn't good for you. Maybe, we do find these all the time. So we can possibly find something that fits a little bit better as to what it is that you're looking for. But just think it's a really solid deal, low risk and the protection on it. Uh, you know, if you saw here, I'll go back to it really quickly, but the average rent, $800. You know, who is going to, give up paying $500 a month to go and have to rent for $800 and also have about $67,000 worth of equity. So these are protections, for the note investor that, if something happens with this particular owner, most likely, what are they going to do? They're going to, sell this property and want to protect, their equity. So, there's some things in here that, protect the investor. So, again, reach out if you're interested in telephone number 973-475-8488. Or you can send me an email at deals with an S, ACG at yahoo.com. Have a good day.